This high school season, it's time to choose your gaming destiny. Whether it's gaming icons clashing in the ultimate showdown in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, hitting the road and outpacing the competition in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or slinging ink with your friends in colorful battles in Splatoon 3. Bring competitive Nintendo gaming to your high school through Play Versus. Learn more about the upcoming season by visiting playvs.com.
Welcome back and welcome in, friends and squids. It is the Mid-Atlantic Championships here. I'm So Abdan. I'm here with my good friend Genie7, and we're coming off quite a banger game coming into the second championship. And you know, these two Mid-Atlantic teams got a lot to play for here.
Yep. I don't think we're gonna. I don't know. We might have another reverse sweep in the cards, but that's asking for a lot. We want to have these two teams from the Mid-Atlantic show off their skills, show off their talents in their own best of 5 for this championship.
And I mean, they've got plenty of talent ahead, but I know you do at home as well. So are you ready to get into the action? Enrollment for the spring 2024 season is open now, and it's free to compete. Discover the opportunities that Play Versus offers and get the details on the upcoming spring season at playversus.com. Don't just watch, play.
Because we said it before, we said it before. We both would have loved this opportunity.
Yeah. Would have loved this. I mean, I could have gone. I could have majored in like Mario Kart or something. Come on, like I think we could have done it. I'd take that anyways.
This will sound crazy, but high school, or for me, Splatoon 1 came out when I was going in from grade 8 to grade, like it came out in the late spring. Came out in May, so I was just graduating from grade 8 when it came out.
Well, hey, if only we had those opportunities, but you got that time, and the time now, though, is for our #1 seed, the ATC Mammalians, to take on the Central Academy Technology Cougars Rain Check. And I mean, this is, I'm going to fill you in, Genie, because you weren't here last year, but ATC Mammalians played for the whole U.S. They were nationals level before, so I'm really checking them. I'm really got my microscope out for them this season.
Who graduated? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Who's graduated?
Changed?
What are the rosters that have changed? So of them. I know I put you on the spot there for that one, but we'll see if they have that, because it's like any school team. If time goes on, the members will always revolve. But you have that championship pedigree. You have that experience of going to nationals. You have whenever you have that for your school, that it elevates. It elevates yourselves.
Yeah. We were talking about, you guys missed it off scene, but we were talking about, what makes teams good, what are the good teams, teams can struggle, great teams can struggle, but really those teams, that come in the clutch and really kind of put themselves together, through their coaching, through the people that are behind the scenes, can do so much to make sure that those teams succeed now and in the future.
Yep. All the best teams have coaches. All the teams that I can remember that really good in Splatoon's history that didn't have coaches, their windows of glory were 3 months.
Yeah.
4 months. Yeah. The teams that have a coach, and went through the ringer of just ironing out the details, ironing out the mistakes that you're making as a team, those are the teams that had the 2-year spans. Those are the teams that had the long overarching durations of dominance.
And I mean, right now the ATC Mammalians are looking like that. So I'm really watching the rain checks here. They need to check them. They need to check the Mammalians to make sure that they are, are you holding up to the pedigree? Am I just overselling them based on, seeing them again in a year? We're going to have to keep an eye out on that. We are starting again, though, on Turf War. What's the order? Refresh me, Genie.
We have Turf War, Game 1, Rainmaker, Game 2, Splat Zones, Game 3, Power Control, Game 4, and Clam Blitz if we have to go to the Game 5. All maps are on the table. The modes are preset. The higher seed picks Turf War Map 1, and the losers will pick the rest of the maps here on out.
Which means it'll be ATC's pick for for Turf War. I was thinking Rainmaker because I was like, we never see
Game
that.
2.
But so that's Game 2. But they have it for Game 1. They have it for Turf War. And we alluded last game to kind of, this is where you're going to see your oddball picks. You might see your Aerosprays, your Splushomatics, your various things. But I think the question mark is, have these teams been playing enough Turf War to really kind of have preferences to maps? Because we saw, our previous match, we saw a pretty solid pick in the turf war, but I'm very curious to see where would you pick if we're opening on turf war?
Nobody ever counted. Like, the thing is with count for turf war, it's always set. Whenever I play in the big pool Nintendo tournaments, the turf war map 1 is always set.
That's true too. Yeah.
So we don't pick it. The last time I counterpicked turf war in my humble career of playing all 3 games is never. I have played competitive Splatoon since private battles were first put in that August update back in 2015. I have never counterpicked a turf war.
I mean, I think that speaks to the difficulty of this, right? Like, how often are you really thinking about what is my turf war map of choice? Like, I think that really does speak a lot to the teams and the kind of struggles that, being at the championship level really do bring.
What I would pick is ELTL.
Okay, I respect
that's because
that.
my team has
valid.
strong suits there, and also the fact that reflex missiles are really annoying because it's a hallway.
Yeah, hallway.
So and there's choke points, so it's really good to break through those choke points or else everyone else in the other team kind of just gets splatted by either my teammate Zuka or my dualies running in there off of our missiles and our chaos. So,
all right.
But that's just me.
No, look, you gave a good take. I'm gonna give you an awful take. Ready? I'm gonna go with Undertow.
Turf war?
For turf war. That's because I'm a backline player, though, and I like being able to sit back, make sure I can cover as many entrances as many ways in. So I like to make sure
Scorch.
Because that's just too big, Genie. I don't got time to cover all that. I don't want to play. I don't want to worry about the whole map. I want to worry about one small hallway that I can make my scope go across, and I want to make sure I can cover and focus on that if I really want to do that down. Plus, like you said, it's a big map. It's very easy to miss a pocket if you're too busy fighting, and you're trying to take that advantageous high ground. So.
You know what I would like to see? I'd like to see the Robo Ramen.
I would be curious. Those are in the pool, so I'd like to see. Yeah, those new maps would be very interesting to see.
I have not actually seen Bluefin on turf war.
I don't think that's shocking to anybody, Genie.
No, I don't. The last time I played it was, I think, Cats versus Dogs Splatfest in Splatoon 1.
Oh gosh, you just dated yourself, man. Goodness. I was a boomer here, and you just dated yourself. That's impressive.
You got my copy right here.
Oh man,
ready to go.
He's like ready for it, man.
I've got my Wii U gamepad right here. It's not charged. It's not charged. I think it has Zelda in it. Twilight Princess HD. But yeah, we are just waiting on all the teams to get ready and the pick for map 1. But what we have this opportunity for anyone that is just watching who's new to Splatoon, we could probably take a stab at explaining what some of our game modes. Do we want to go in chronological order of what we're gonna see, or do we want to go back?
Let's start with what we're gonna see, and I'll take the softball here, I guess, and I'll take out turf war because turf war is playing the whole zone of the map, right? It's your basic mode. You have to play it when you first get the game, and it's a great entry tool to understanding what the importance of pressuring, keeping your ink down and making sure that you have the space to control is. The winner will always have the most ink, and it's important. But the problem is that a lot of it comes down to, how do you do in those last moments of pressure, those last 30 seconds, the last minute. So the consistency to make sure you get splats, keep your ink down is important for turf war. But what about Rainmaker? Because that's a whole different mode in itself.
Rainmaker, all the modes builds off of turf war. You need to have your paint, your ink controlled all over the map. But in Rainmaker, it's more or less having this giant golden glowing fish, which is the Rainmaker. It is like a flag. You will need to take it to 2 checkpoints on every map. One is the checkpoint, which there could be multiple of, positioned differently on the map. As long as you score it in one of them, the checkpoints are gone. And then the final checkpoint is the home goal. You need to grab the giant glowing Rainmaker fish and dunk it into the basket. And once you get it there, whatever team gets it closest to the basket wins. It also shoots giant ink globs, and it moves slow and is very glowy. So the enemy team easily knows that you have it.
Make sure that you also do hit those checkpoints, though, because I don't know about you, but especially when they added those in 3, so many players
ran.
just go past it because they're so used to just getting right all the way to the end. So make sure you hit those checkpoints. But I mean, at least then after that, we'll see what is, Turf War light in some ways. It's Splat Zones. It's more of a defined.
It's Turf War ranked.
Yeah, that's Turf War ranked. It's more of control a particularly defined space where you might want to control the other parts of the map, but you have a particularly glowing square that you want to make sure that you have your ink on. As long as you maintain control of the space, a timer ticks down. And if you control it all the way from 100 to 0, you win the game. Otherwise, it's going to look to who had the most control over the longest time.
Yep. And our third ranked mode, which we are going to be going over, is tower control. It is very standard and very simple when you think about it. Tower control. You need to sit on the tower, and you will push it through a set number of checkpoints for a set duration of time towards the base goal. Whatever team pushes it the furthest on that set pathway will win. If it is tied, the tie will go to whoever has gotten to the distance first. The problem is with tower control, you need to make sure that you escort your team and the tower along its track. Where other modes like zones, you have the specific zone targeted on the map. Rainmaker can go anywhere it wants to, but has to make it to that home goal. Tower control, you will only push it as far and as fast as it moves.
And last of the ranked modes, we've got Clan Blitz. It's arguably a lot of players' least favorites.
It's the newest one, bro.
It is the newest one. You're right. It is the newest one. Too. It's the newest one. I'll give it that. But look, I love Clan Blitz. Let me also say that. But I think it's one of the more enticing modes. But I think a lot of players don't like it. But you'll see a lot of clams scattered about. And this is always the hardest mode for me to describe. I'm so mad I got stuck with this one. But
yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I'll pass it off.
What Clan Blitz is for if we got. I know we're here for the high school championships. We've got some football fans here.
Sure,
There's gonna be 2 baskets on either side of the map. Each team will have these little golden clams on the map. You have to collect 8 of them to make a big power. It looks like a football called a power clam. You use that and you have to score it into the other team's basket like a basketball.
Okay.
And from there, you can start throwing the little clams in or more big clams, and you start racking the points up. The points are tallied 20 for a big, 3 for a small. And it goes in there from there.
Well, good news, Genie.
We have our game 1 starting. Here we go.
It's Mako Mart again, though. We saw this for the first game, and this seems to be a favorite. And I agree with the ATC Mammalians. This looks like a comp that we've seen before, and I don't disagree with it. On the other side, Raincheck, though, bringing in, is that double? Okay, double Zuka is an interesting pickup. I will say there's the double Crab, though, for ATC, and no Cooler is a little concerning.
No Cooler is definitely going to be concerning, especially on a mode like Turf War, but I love the double Crab on Turf War. You have so much base control and so much overarching pressure. The thing is, though, is that this edit with the double Zuka can really shred through crabs.
Yeah, edit is going to put a lot of pressure on those crabs, so this may be an unfortunate thing. And immediately that crab just gets popped and taken out from the Zuka. A great read from the side of Raincheck. So they have the numbers here. I think they just kind of ended up making the better choice on the weapon select.
Yeah, this is going to be a strong little opening. I want to see overall from both these teams to really get those tight spots, all this gray area which hasn't been painted over. You want to start covering that up in the early game because you really want to fight for mid at the end of the game. You don't want to have to be worried about putting your team at a disadvantage in those final 30 seconds by having to paint your spawn.
Yeah, Crab will go up to contest mid, point sensor to make sure it's in there. Zuka, too, does find one, though, but it's a 2v1 versus the Crab. The Crab manages to roll out and get there, so the team advantage will still continue on the range check, and they're giving our contenders a run for the money.
They're doing such a good job, and I want to point out that play. The Crab rolling up in that ball form makes it almost invincible. And that sword, the sword can slash the Rider at any point in time, so going up in that ball form saved them. Absolutely saved the Crab Rider.
Chumps are out, though. A little bit of extra space control. Talisman falls. A great swipe from the sword. Finds a second. Huge from the frontliner for the Mammalians. That's what you love to see. Just keeping that pressure up, and now they are getting that paint control in the mid. Crab is up, and again, just looking for more. They know where a lot of these players are. It's just completing the kill and keeping the pressure there from the high ground.
The pressure is good here, so but you have to remember, final 30 seconds in Turf War is all that matters. And especially when you have double Zuka. The double Zuka. You find those splats very fast and very furiously. They already found one with one Zuka. What can you find with your second Zuka, which should be charged up relatively soon?
Hopefully, we're coming down to
the last minute.
3v3. That goes down. That is a huge opening, though. But finally, another pick will fall. That's 2 down for the side of Rain Check. And it's just going to be, again, mid is still in the control of the Mammalians. So they'll have this in the last 30 seconds. The timer is ticking. So it looks like if they can keep this pressure up, that it should favor them here.
It should be favorable. But remember, so these Zukas are everything.
Huge.
How fast? They need to be online soon. The clock is ticking down. 30 seconds are going to go away sooner than you expect. You need those online to really break through the defense. The super chumps are out. There goes one Zuka. Here comes the other Zuka. They need to find value here, so
No, but I got to give it. I love their use of the ground here. They're using this. They're using this architecture just so well to keep themselves covered.
There's 2 going.
The back.
The
That's 2
gone.
out. There's a chance. It's 5 seconds though.
You gotta
have
paint.
to paint down. They don't. I think they have the pressure, Genie. That's not enough. Where it's gonna come down to the wire though.
Oh, this is tighter than it was supposed to be. Of the Mammalians,
Ooh.
they probably
I think
have
they
it
sniffed this.
because
I
they
think
have more
snuck this
spawn
out.
paint,
50,
and they
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the importance of spawn paint, right?
You can see all that top right.
Yeah. They just let it go, and that was unfortunately just kind of the problem. They just let all that paint sit. You usually want someone in your back line or whoever's your first respawn to really kind of double back and get that, but it just felt like they kind of ignored it. They were playing for the front control as opposed to what was behind them.
Yep. Oftentimes you see even like in the highest level at Worlds qualifying in that, you'll see one player pick up like an aerospray or a reflux or a sploosh to get something that can really just sit and spawn and have 3 members up in front and have a supportive weapon like the sploosh with the killer whale or the reflux with the missiles, which can paint the ground and then pop that special to assist on the front line help. Yeah, you might be down a weapon, but you will always be able to really paint the map as fast as possible if it comes down to that final 30 seconds or just having control in your own spawn.
And that really is the kind of importance of those weapons in this mode, realistically, is the ability to still impact the game, even though while you're doing something else. Missiles, a killer whale, something that you can use to support and help your front line really makes the difference. It turns your 1v1s into 2v1s if you can send it there. But unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to turf mode. It's going to be Rainmaker's pick here for the rain checks. And I mean, surely it's in their name. Surely they got Rainmaker, right?
Yeah, please, you gotta.
Come on,
you can't be the rain checks and not have a good Rainmaker strategy.
Yeah, there's got to be something coming in for that. But I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, just based on that performance, that was very close. So I don't think either team is really kind of, I don't think either team's really got a breath to let go here. That wasn't very comfortable of a win. It was 50. You carried the 50%, but I think a lot of that. Had they just painted on the first part, had they just painted their back half, this could have been a lot closer. So I'm watching, I'm looking at their pick and I'm thinking, all right, they want to play a little bit quicker, a little bit aggressively. The heavy edit was a pick that kind of stood out that might just be for that mode. So I'm really curious to see what swaps come in for Rainmaker.
Edit is a really good, if you don't have a Catercooler weapon, like if you don't have a Zap player or a pencil, Edit is really, really strong. It's an underrated weapon because it loses so hard to ballpoint.
Yeah.
And it doesn't beat Stamper in the Stamper matchup, but what it does do is provide you with that spotting in the tactical. We do have Robo Ramen.
Genie?
Yep,
We're getting
ramen.
some
Ramen time. We are going to be seeing both teams rocking out with that sword and both teams going to have a splash plus a zap. That is definitely something more standard and more popular in all levels of Splatoon at this moment in time.
The difference maker to me here is the double crab. That's a lot more, there's just a lot more stability in the longer fights. So the sooner these crabs come online, just the longer they can put out pressure and maintain these fights with that extra health pool. So, they'll get control here for the side of Rain Check, and I think this is looking in their favor. Great flank angle from the sniper.
Yeah, but both swords are just going back and forth, trying to find out some splats. We do see the super jump, but you can't just camp it because you know that you're going to get punished by the rest of their members who are coming back alive. The Mammalians are able to defend this checkpoint. And as you can see, on the top left and the lower right, those giant glowing checkpoints, that's where you need to get this Rainmaker before you can go towards home.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough because you don't necessarily have a clear path right now if you are the Mammalians. So you're waiting and trying to find the opening pick, trying to get space for your Stamper to get in there and find a pick. But the Stamper for the side of the Mammalians falls, which means that this push is basically going to be on hold for now.
Yeah, and the Rainmaker, it's just going to try and dodge and dive its way into a good spot so the Rainmaker can't get run back in their own spawn. Luckily, there is a splash still alive, but you got to get out of there before that Rainmaker pops, and the pop will take them out.
That is a big punish. That means that this lower checkpoint is going to be theirs. They'll get this. Oh, no, they get picked in the spawn. That's still pretty close. It gives them a lead.
Yeah, here goes the Sword trying to get this pop on it, but both teams are fighting tooth and nail. I don't think they're going to be able to contest this right now, so maybe, but that Ink Tank, I can see it's dangerously low. Zipcaster could be the hero special, could be that Spider-Man that you need to really crack open the door.
I love that play from the Mammalians there, just making sure. There's a DC on the board, though. That is unfortunate for the Mammalians, so I believe we are past the time. We're going to have to take a check on the rules for that, but, you know, now you're playing man down. You're behind in that, and you have to play man down, so these you have to make sure you win your duels now.
Yeah, it's gonna be unfortunate. I don't think we're gonna be able to replay this at all. There are no replays, I believe, past 5, past the opening like 10 seconds. So this match, no matter what happens, will count. And the Rainmaker able to dodge around the Sword, somehow stays alive for just temporary extra amount of time. Ooh, finally gets punished out there.
It's going to have to be this way, but it's still not all hope lost for the Mammalians. Look, this is a team that we were looking at. They had played at the highest level, so if there's a team that is ever going to be able to pull this back in a 3v4, I would put my money on this team. They just need to get control. They need to make sure they win their duels here, because the second they can give themselves a player even is the second they can turn it into advantage. But, I mean, look at how aggressive the space is being taken by Raincheck. They are clearing the path ahead already.
Problem is, you've lost your tactical weapon here, so any splat that comes against the Mammalians will count so much more, because you don't have that next near instant respawn provided by that tactical, that extra mobility, that extra speed that you need.
Yeah, that's the worst player it could have been, and you can see it. They're just the Cougars are just trying to make sure that they can clear the space. They can sense it. They're putting out the ink, and I mean, they haven't. The fact that they haven't slammed it yet to me is kind of telling.
I was gonna say they're really making sure that everything is clear, not knowing that most of the people will just be up on this plat. This Rainmaker, it's mostly going to be popped in this Crab Tank. It's everything that is holding the Mammalians up and alive right now. Against one, the Rainmaker shield has been popped, but the Cougars, they kind of stalled themselves out here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You know you have the advantage. This should be in your favor, but they will get punished there. They trade out on that Stamper.
There's an opening here, so.
Yeah, this is an opening for the Mammalians to bring this back.
Yeah, just 66 is not a strong push here on this map at all. And with Rainmaker, I know it's a giant glowing fish, but it's still almost like an essence of capture the flag, where you can just grab that thing and start running with it.
Yeah, especially now that you've cleared the first checkpoint. You know, they had painted the majority of the space to the next point. They just haven't taken it, but it looks like they're getting it. Now we see it. There's the pressure I wanted to see. They know they have the advantage. You got to play up. They'll get the picks. They'll clear the path.
This is game.
And there it is.
Safety. They played it safe. They played it smart. They didn't want to give away that advantage that they had the entire game by always being one player up. And luckily for the Cougars, they get to tie the series one apiece. Yeah. Maybe it's some internet, but also I feel like it was some good Rainmaker play.
I think it was both. I think it is an unfortunate happenstance that there was a disconnect, and especially because it was the cooler player. Let's be real, like that is such an important piece of your team comp. But the other part is, you know, we were kind of staring at him like, you know, okay, go ahead, the road is clear. That's the player perspective, right? They knew that they didn't quite have the damage or the information that they were looking for, because you saw that onslaught of ink come their way when they tried to slam it. And that was what they were waiting for. They were trying to play for a pick, and I respect that, because that is a team that understands, look, we don't have our win con yet. Let's not get hasty. Let's not get jittery. Let's play our game and win.
Yeah, I'm looking more forward towards zones. I love seeing Rebel Ramen. We didn't really get to see too much of the map on Rainmaker because honestly, Rainmaker is a bit fast on that map. You don't get to see the elevations, the low grounds, that whole like the mid ramps and the whole tunnels on the low ground, which honestly, I've got to be honest, it's the most entertaining map in Splatoon that they've added. Honestly, almost in Splatoon history, because of just everything that's going on with it. It's beautiful.
Man, spitting facts. I can't disagree. Like it's just an interesting map. It really gives you a lot more high ground, low ground to play with. But unfortunately, I mean, we may still see it again. You never know. Maybe someone wants to play Clan Blitz on it. But that's not until map 5. Right now, we do have zones, like you said, and it is going to be the Mammalians pick. That's at least their consolation prize here. I mean, are we just going back to Are we just gonna run it back from where we saw last game, Genie? Like I could
Go to
see
Hagglefish?
yeah. Are we just running it back to Hagglefish? Like that's kind of one of the preferred modes. That's kind of one of the preferred maps I know. So like I wouldn't be shocked if we ran it back.
I kind of hope not, because neither of these teams, I feel like they would want, like they would necessarily their team comp screams that they want Hagglefish. I haven't seen any chargers. I haven't seen the super long range backlines. So it would more or less be just like a crab warfare at that point in time, and then it would be crab versus Zuka.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how, Jeannie, you and I have followed this scene for a little while as it's been in the Inter Russian and going into Worlds. How long have we seen crab warfare? Like, that's nothing new to these players. They're used to this. So if anything, that might be a spot of comfort for some of these players.
So it's how far back in the filing cabinet or the memory logs do we want to go for crab warfare? Are we talking about 4 crab versus 4 crab? Because then that would be that would be about a year since we saw 4 crab versus 4 crab.
I mean, but pick half your I'll even take half my team is playing crabs.
Like, half your team is playing crab. It's coming back because Zuka is less dominant, and also the fact that Splash has always been good, but having it not be double Splash with having a Splash and a Stamper, that is why crab is mostly back, because it actually has a second weapon that it's good on now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but you know what? This was actually going to be the other thing I called out again, because this was my other thought, and we didn't say it was Makomart. Yeah, like Makomart is also, it's a favorite. A lot of players from Splatoon 2 carried it over, and it's a map that's known, so I'm not too shocked. But like we said,
it's also crab warfare.
Yeah, it's still more crab warfare, right? Like that was a lot of the reason that we had our winner in Turf War was just holding crabs on the high ground. So
crab tank, it's just fun.
It's just good. What was it? What did Keo say? I just love crab tank.
That was Legend.
Oh, that was Legend. Yeah, I just love crabs.
I just like crab.
I just like crab tank.
I just like crab tank.
Yeah,
it's just fun. And then 2 months later, we're all
playing it, hating it.
Now? Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Super Chumps Zap.
Okay, I'm fascinated here.
Sure.
Look, that's a lot of space control. Like you can cover. Look, Chumps can cover, and so can Booyah Bomb. I don't see it as I don't think it's the optimal pick, but I do think you can get Booyah Bomb pretty fast, as we're seeing right there. And that can get control. That can rent control right away.
Yeah, I don't mind the Aerospray pick. It's just when if you're playing Zap and you're not playing the Tacticooler variant, I'm a little bit shocked. Even double Tacticooler is still strong, but I guess you want to have a little bit of an entry tool, which could be Super Chumps. Let's go with that.
Yeah, Chumps give you a lot of pressure. It allows you to at least force your opponent to have to kind of think twice, maybe make a mistake. They've been a little under on the meta, but it could be one of those just comfort picks. Maybe it's just the thing that you're best playing on. So I mean, look, either way for right now, it's working.
It's working. There they go.
Yeah, it's working.
They're gonna get a little bit of control down onto that zone, but unfortunately, all of them get obliterated by Crab Tank. Just the sheer amount of damage that the Crab Tank can exude onto it will be too strong, as we see members left and right going down. The sword, can it find the splat onto the shot? No, the shot using the squid roll off the wall to their advantage, just rolling over top of their head.
And great call for help on that, turning that into a 2v1, because that was a great read. So it'll go the way of Cougars rain check, and they'll have it for now. The Chumps are in though, which means that the pressure is going to be applied. It was the only ult they had for their side, but it didn't look like it got the pressure they wanted.
Yeah, and the Booyah Bomb, it is out. There's another Crab Tank. They're just painting the zone down and down. How much longer can they hold this zone? It's looking to be good because they're getting the splat. It's just going to be a Zap fighting against a shot and a Aerospray. They're going to go down. So, this is Final Fight territory.
I mean, let's be real. We kind of joked about the Aerospray, now, but they are showing us it's putting in the work. And the one thing it does is defend the zone very well, especially with that Booyah Bomb coming in. They're able to clean those Chumps up, but they lose control for the moment, being 3 minutes on the clock. But Cooler's up, which means they now have that respawn advantage.
As Joe Biden would say, soda!
Soda!
But anyway, we do have 15 seconds left on this zone. It's going to be ticking down extremely fast. The paint needs to be found.
It's Jover, Genie. It's Jover.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet.
From the Crab Tank is doing a lot of work, but the Aerospray's still alive, and that's what's going to end the game.
That's Jover, yeah. I mean, look, meme on it all you want. We could joke about it, but the Aerospray did so much work there. That was their secret weapon for the side of Cougars rain check.
Yeah, Cougars rain check making sure that we knew that that second game there was not a fluke. They are a team here that will compete. They showed that, honestly, the Aerospray, it is a pick. It is a pick. You want to play objective, you want to play zone, you get that Booyah Bomb, and with the Booyah Bomb becomes more specials, because every time you hit the Booyah button on your controller,
that's right.
You gain a little bit more special. So while you have this giant ball charging up, your team is slightly getting that like 10% more special than the other team, which really, really helps snowball it, especially when you have Zuka and Tacticooler, which will always help your team.
And we were talking about how much pain it can keep down, right? You could see that Aerospray was just keeping that zone painted through the onslaught of everything. And I was kind of watching. I didn't see it fall too much, so it was consistently building that. I mean, the Mammalians, look, I kind of came in hoping they would give us a little bit more of a show, considering they have played at this level. But I mean, Cougars Rain Check absolutely just making a case that they weren't really the underdog here at the second seed.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried here for the Mammalians because you need to gotta get yourself a little bit more calmed down and a little bit more relaxed, because after a DC, you don't know how voice chats can be. It can really snowball out of control if you don't stay calm in those moments, because this is championships. This is the bright lights are on here. And when the lights shine the brightest, you want the stars to perform, but the people that you remember who are the stars that are performing, it takes a lot of they're under a lot of pressure.
Pressure's on. It's game point, Genie. We'll bring ourselves over to tower control. It will be the Mammalians pick, but I mean, they also had pick on zones, and I'm not sure that pick is going to be a huge advantage here. I'm also not sold. I feel like something in their comp just needs a little bit of tweaking. I just can't quite put my finger on it. I feel like something needs to change. Maybe it's caught up. Maybe you just weren't expected to scrim kind of a unique comp like that. They'll go to Hagglefish for tower. So that tells me they want to play maybe a little bit more longer range. So maybe there's something in the pocket. Maybe there's a charger that we're going to see come out here.
Honestly, so I don't even think it's that, because when I read teams that pick Mackelmart, when they have 3 map picks and they pick Mackelmart, and then Hagglefish.
Yeah, okay.
You're just picking standard maps here.
Yeah,
I was looking towards Inkblock tower control, and then having Hagglefish Clams be our last map, and just going to the standard maps that are practiced very, very often because they're community favorites.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. This was kind of my thought too. Is like it is just a meta pick in a lot of ways, right? This is the one you scrim a lot. So, but like I said, like if there is something in the pocket, there's a Nautilus. It looks like for ATC. I don't know that that's the thing of my choice, but it does give them a little more range, at least in their favor. I'm not entirely sold on it, but I mean, Tanky has this, he's the only mid to back liner, so this is his chance to shine if he can find the pressure.
And they did get rid of the Stamper on their side as well.
Yeah.
Keeping it on the side of Rain Check, but, bringing it back on the side of Rain Check, but getting rid of it on the side of the Mammalian. So I'm a little bit worried because the new Crab Stamper on this map is really strong.
It is really strong. A couple specials coming online. Crab is up, but I mean, where are you going to do? You're going to pop Crab to try to pressure the cart rolling. I mean, that was basically just basically thrown away, unfortunately. And you lose too.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't think either of the members got that tactical. They'll have that extra long respawn, meaning that they are going to maybe be able to find out on that bottom left side. The Zuka is out. The teammates are able to find one spot around it. They're going to try and peek that corner, peek that left side, but you don't want to go too deep. So we're a minute into the game, and neither team has really pushed it in.
No, it's a lot of, but we've seen this pretty, quiet play out of Cougars, but that's 3 down. I mean, the Mammalians, that's their go button now. They should be able to take the space and get some pressure on the board.
Oh, and the cooler's gone. They got rid of the defensive cooler from Rain Check, and they have their offensive cooler. The splash, you can't fall here, you can't fall now. You need to get your teammate's tactical cooler, which I think they ran over with the tower.
Yeah, I think that is gone, but they'll have a Constellation Crab, and that is, again, a little bit more pressure to contest out the other crab, but they get that. Wow, they get the pick. That is huge. They're down 2, though. The respawns are coming in, so 53 on the cart. 53 on the cart means that this cart will keep rolling. They're getting the second checkpoint, Genie. I think the Mammalians are finally getting their footing here.
They have woken up, and they are snowballing this map out of control. 2 spots have been found. This is good for them. They've lost their Nautilus on that tower, but those quick jumps will be back. as they have that tactical alert. Zuka is out. The sword is on it. There's multiple members of Cougar's range check running around trying to stall this out. That section bomb can do a lot of big damage, and it has both teams losing members left, right, and center. The crab tank absolutely shredded.
I mean, that fight was just a little too focused around the cart. I would have loved to seen one of the members just kind of get out and try to force some attention, maybe catch an angle to try to take the pressure off the cart and to try to maybe just get a free pick from that. But their consolation is that they're at 19. Stamper's deep. He's trying to find somebody there, but I don't know that there's anybody home. I mean, you get one pick, and that is enough to keep the cart moving.
It is, and oh, I'm pretty sure I heard a direct sound effect, and it was.
Did.
We did. We know where the zap is going to be in a couple seconds here, team, and it's not looking good.
The Mammalians are going to get the space here. They have to respect it. They know they can play the cart. There's some time
they can't because they've lost their zap, remember, so...
They have, yeah, but they have, that's the thing, is right, they can't take this as less than a full 4. And again, that late pick and a DC, that just means that this is unfortunately done. That's not the way you let your championship run end.
No, this is not how you want it to end. You've gotten it so deep to 19. The splash is going to go around for a little bit of flank. The clock has ticked down, which means that the lead will go over in the Cougars' range check. And Cougars' range check, they can walk away with this. They can walk away with this game. A wipeout on the board. The championship in their arms.
A victory drink. A victory monster for them as they ride the cart to victory there. I mean, dang, Genie. The Mammalians had such a good run. They got it to 19. Just unfortunate timing on the disconnect again to get burned by that twice is just, that's a heartbreaker, honestly. Like this felt like a very competitive match, but just those 2 disconnects are so heartbreaking.
That the 2 disconnects, we can look past them because that game 3 on Zone's
close.
It was close, but Cougars range check, they showed up for that second game. They truly did. And also before the push was happening, before the zap disconnected, it was looking dangerous. The Mammalians were so far on the back foot, and they were losing fight after fight. They were losing each of their members in individual 1v1s, which is not how you want it to go. But Cougars range check, they proved that they were good enough in that game, that game 3. I was worried because if you can get some DC wins, it might not be the greatest victory. But that game 3, it sold it for me that they should be the Mid-Atlantic champions.
I don't disagree with you, and they'll take that title home. They'll put it in there, the Mammalians. Unfortunately, it feels so bad, but you know what? You've come pretty far. You know, there's always next season, and considering the ATC Mammalians have a pretty good track record. You know, they were in the top 4 nationals last season. You know, they're fighting for the region here. That is a team that still has all kinds of promise. You can still build so much out of that. So, disconnects aside, I'm watching this team again as we come around for the next Play Versus season, because that team has shown year after year that they can get close to glory even if they can't fully grasp it.
Yeah. But with that, we gotta say congratulations to the Cougars on your victory. And with that, we have more championships coming up after this intermission. Don't go anywhere. More great Splatoon action coming up.